Scorpio, welcome to Hattie's Hierophant. I am your tarot reader and I hope you're doing well, my beloved. Welcome to your general reading for February 2021. If this is your first time coming to see me, I hope you consider subscribing so we can see each other every month. And if you're returning Scorpio, I sure do appreciate you. Listen, let's get on with your reading. The center of your reading is that of the Queen of Pentacles. This is energy of being a nurturing and nurture and fertility. That's what that rabbit represents there at the bottom. I'm also feeling like that it's something we need to focus. We need to focus on family. We need to focus on our health. We need to focus on our career, but it's not so career heavy. I just feel like we just need to add a little softness in the career sector. Perhaps we're also dealing with like a mother-like figure or even a wife-like energy as well. I'm feeling very feminine energy that we're dealing with. Does not mean that the sex is feminine, but the energy is what I'm feeling. And perhaps we're even dealing with an earth sign. I'm feeling really heavy at Capricorn possibly. So I expanded on this energy and I got that of the Nine of Hearts. And a Nine of Hearts is all about excess and selfishness, like just too much. And I feel like with the two of these here, this is encouraging you in the most nurturing kind of way is to bring some of that excess down. And I feel like it's both. There's two energies that I'm getting from here. So I don't know if you feel like, from a parental point of view, perhaps there's a child or a childlike figure or even a sibling whom you think is just being super selfish, right? And they are being excessive in their lifestyle, with their money, in their behavior. So I'm feeling like that, but I'm also feeling, Scorpio, that someone is feeling that way about you, which is interesting because when it comes to the zodiacs, you are the most put together emotionally, especially outwardly, out of all the zodiacs. But I'm feeling like that some of you are being attacked intellectually. So let's move on. Let's go into your moon energy. This is your subconscious. This is where spirit is working on your behalf. And you have that of the Ten of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. So again, I'm getting this energy of let's collaborate. It needs to be a collaboration. It needs to be a discussion, right? I feel like that perhaps your idea of what life should look like and how it should be, you've been heavy on that. Like, this is how it should be. And if it's not that way, then it's not right. So that's the energy I'm getting. And I'm getting like that's how you're approaching your family. That's how you're approaching your friends. Like, that's not right. And you're not bending at all. So when I expanded on that Ten of Cups, I got that of the Jack of Hearts. And this is all that 12th house energy. And it's also very much about that subconscious and unconscious. And what happens sometimes in that 12th house is we end up making things worse than what they seem. We end up making up stories based off of an experience that we had one-sided and we made it into something else, right? I feel like that perhaps something happened, or perhaps you see a certain, I hear that you were triggered. There's a certain trigger that happened. Whether it was just, a smell or just a situation, but it triggered you and you think like, okay, this particular thing is going to happen again. And so you really started making up this story, right? For lack of a better description, you start making up this scenario of how it's going to end up and how it's going to end because of this triggering. So now you're acting a certain kind of way because you're convinced that you are going to get out of control, you are going to be excessive, and then I don't want to go down that road again, right? So I feel like that's where this King of Swords is coming in. This is where you're like, we're not going down that road. These are the facts of what happened last time, and I can sniff what's happening, right? So I expanded on this and I got the Two of Hearts. And that Two of Hearts is all about, it's that temperance energy. Temper that feeling, temper that trigger, right? And let it be known that this time around, Scorpio, that it is more of a balancing act. And although it may have been excessive before, it may have gotten out of control before, I feel like this time around, it won't be. I feel like this time around that it will be tempered. So it's not something that you have to go out and lead this charge. I just did a fellow fixed sign for you, and they had that very similar energy. You do not have to lead this charge to make it right. You know, and I'm hearing it's either my way or the highway. I don't feel like that we need to do that this time around, Scorpio. And that's where this Three of Pentacles comes in. You know, and threes are energetic, number one. And threes are a positive energy. And they also require work on your behalf. It requires action, right? And this action that is required of you. And interestingly enough, how that's also the Pentacle. And we started off with the Queen of Pentacles. The energy that needs to happen from you in the most purposeful way is it needs to be collaborative. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about that next move, that next step. So if you do see it getting out of control, or if something is familiar to you to where you're like, we're going to go down that road again of bankruptcy. And you know, it's not always financial bankruptcy, right? But for some of you, you do feel that way. You do feel like that we're going to go down this road and your excessive behavior is going to cost me a whole lot of money and I can't do that again, right? So I do feel like that if you do see that, talk it out. This is the time in the beginning stages to collaborate, right? Not scream and yell about it, Scorpio. That's what I'm hearing. We don't have to scream and yell about it. We don't have to get big to make a statement, right? I feel if you tackle it little by little and bite by bite, you will get what you need to get from it and from the people who are involved, okay? I know some of you that makes sense. Now, when I go into your sun energy, and this is your ego energy, this is where we see you, this is where the action happens. You have that of the King of Cups. Look, it's already feeling softer. You see what I mean? If we follow that energy of being collaborative and catching it in the beginning stages, you see this king and how he's on that cement block. Look at that water beneath him, right? It is raging, okay? And look how he is calm, cool, and collected on that chair without a worry. That's you, Scorpio. That's what we know you for, Scorpio. Now, we also got that of the Lover's card. Perhaps we were dealing with a Gemini. And we also have that of the Star energy as well. And I'm really picking up on that energy. This card follows that of the Death card. Or does it follow the Tower? I can't remember at the moment. Either way, it follows destruction. And it brings hope and light. Almost in that energy of make a wish, right? And I'm also getting that energy. I'm really focusing on that star, and that North Star is leading you to safety. It's leading you to lighter and brighter experience. And I feel like that this is where Spirit wants to lead you. Now, the Lover's card, right? This is all about making a choice. We have twos here. Anytime there's a two that's presented in tarot, it's all about making a decision. Where do you want to go? What decision do you want to make in regards to how you are going to love, how you are going to show love? Are you going to do it this way? It's my way or the highway? Or are you going to do it this way and you're going to temper it, right? And talk about it and talk it out and collaborate. And really, Gemini represents that of communication. I expanded on this, my dear, and I got that of the Ace of Spades. And this represents focus. Clarity, right? There is no coincidence that it's coupled up with the Lover's card that represents that of communication. And we've been talking about that, right? So this this is a sign. This is a nudge for you to go that direction, to talk it out in the most loving way, in the most respectful way, in the most focused way. And I feel like some of you, it is going to be work related. Some of you are fed up at work. That's what I'm hearing. Some of you are fed up at work, and perhaps you do work with a Gemini or a Capricorn too. I feel like it's not like a group of people. I feel like it's one person. I feel like it's one person that's just kind of rubbing you the wrong way. They're just kind of getting on your nerves. And because of that, they're agitating you, right? So it's kind of causing you to kind of pop off. You know what I mean? In the most undelightful way. So I'm feeling like, really, get back to this, get back to that energy. I'm hearing that the best way to communicate, right, with this individual is to tell a story, and perhaps tell a story that somehow that you got over something, how you accomplished something, so that they can see that they're not alone, or perhaps they can see exactly how they're agitating you, right? So that's very specific, but I'm really seeing that in the workplace for some of you, that there's this particular person that's just like getting on your last. Now, still in your ego energy, we have that of the star, hopes, dreams, wishes, right? This is also giving me energy of that temperance energy, right? To where we're kind of, balancing ourselves, balancing our emotions. And I have that of the Queen of Clubs that I expanded. And this is very similar to the Strength card in the tarot. Right? So it's all about having courage and being courageous. But this courage comes from within. The courage is to hold on to your own emotions and not overreact and not believe those stories that we've made up here, possibly. And I feel like that's triggering you somehow. Because it's like, no, it's not made up. This did happen, but it hasn't happened yet, is what I'm hearing for you, Scorpio. So we don't have to write that story. You see what I mean? We don't have to write that story again. And I feel like that we need this courage. We need this strength to understand that people change, to understand that situations change, that things don't have to be the same over and over again. Stop telling yourself that story. All right, my dear, listen, gosh, this is a very tempered reading. Now we're going into your immediate present. If we stick and continue with this energy, I have this of the Page of Swords. This is like the beginning stages of a new thought process, right? So we're getting rid of this energy. Where is it? This energy here. And this is a new thought process, and it's exciting, right? It's a very youthful, exciting, and I mean youthful in the way of, when you fall in love for the first time, when you ride a bike for a first time, your first job, that excitement of like you've never experienced it before, so it just makes you giddy. That's this energy here. We are giddy with a new way of looking at our situation, at that person, how we collaborate, how we think, how we're going to move forward, right? And then what happens when we stay on that lane? When we stay in this lane, we have the Four of Pentacles. Pentacles represent all those things that make us feel secure, right? Home, job, health. And fours are all about stability. I just heard Emperor, like the Emperor also represents the number 4. So I don't know if this is like I'm feeling like it's like a father-daughter interaction as well, is what I'm feeling. So just know, Scorpio, that there is stability at the end of this tunnel. And all those things, Pentacle. Listen, I absolutely adore you. I loved that reading. I loved how it just unfolded as we went along. I hope you have a wonderful February. Hopefully I'll see you in March, right? You can tell me how things went. I absolutely adore you.